Imagine for a moment that insomnia isn't just a physical annoyance, but a spiritual signal, a quiet call from your body to pause your outer world and tune into your inner one. Now ask yourself, what if there was a sacred spot in your body that, when touched, could calm your mind, soothe your soul, and open the door to deep rest, just like the wise sages of old? It might sound unbelievable, but it's not, because in ancient mystical traditions, the human body wasn't seen as just a biological machine, but as a living temple full of hidden doors and energy pathways. And within that temple, one of the best-kept secrets lies along a mysterious path: the vagus nerve. The ancient sages, mystics, healers, and spiritual alchemists knew the body held keys to the soul, and they understood there are places where energy and consciousness meet, where a simple touch could awaken memories, release emotions, or restore balance between the seen and unseen. According to their teachings, one of these spots was gently stimulated every night, just before sleep. They didn't do this out of habit, but out of deep connection, knowing that sleep isn't just rest. It's a gateway, a shift between worlds, a break in time where the soul can receive messages, heal, or transform. But to cross that threshold, the body must be peaceful and the soul ready. Today, modern science is starting to catch up. Recent studies show that the vagus nerve, a quiet thread running from the brain down to the abdomen, is crucial for regulating the autonomic nervous system, emotional healing, and balancing body and mind. Still, the sages didn't wait for science. Night after night, they pressed precise points on the neck, chest, or behind the ears, activating that invisible line connecting their body to the universe. In this video, I'll share this ancient secret with you. What is the vagus nerve, really, from a spiritual and energetic perspective? Why stimulate it before sleep? It can change how you experience the night and how you feel every day. And how to use this knowledge not as a trendy hack, but as a sacred ritual to reconnect with yourself. This isn't just another health or meditation tip. It's a key to your awareness, so that every night, instead of battling insomnia, you engage with mystery. Because before insomnia, the sages touched this point, not to fall asleep, but to awaken within. To understand why the ancient sages touched this point before sleep, we have to completely rethink how we see the body. Today, we treat it like a machine. Muscles, bones, electric signals. But for the ancient wisdom traditions, from Egypt to Vedic India, from Taoist medicine to Hermetic alchemy, the body was a sacred map, a mirror of the cosmos, a finely tuned instrument where the physical and spiritual were one. In that view, the vagus nerve wasn't just anatomy. It was an inner river, a current carrying not only neural signals, but also vibrations, emotions, and deep memories. The body's alchemists saw it as a silent serpent flowing up and down the core of being, linking the brain, the seat of thought, with the belly, the seat of intuition. Vedic texts, for example, describe an energy channel called Sushumna Nadi, running from the spine's base to the crown of the head. While not exactly the vagus nerve physically, its symbolic role is strikingly similar, a channel of rise and fall, uniting the earthly and the divine. In some pre-sleep rituals, ancient yogis focused on stimulating the throat or chest with breath and gentle touch. Knowing this balanced their life energy and readied the soul for journeys beyond the body during rest. Meanwhile, Chinese medicine declared long ago that the heart and small intestine, linked by the vagus nerve, govern emotional and spiritual awareness. So certain acupuncture points on the ear, neck, and belly were used before sleep, not just to calm the nervous system, but to open the way to lucid sleep or deeper rest. Gnostic texts even talk about watching the threshold before sleep. This wasn't a metaphor, it was literal. The sage who touched this spot before sleep did so not just to relax, but to activate, a way to open access to finer planes where the soul, freed from the heavy body, could learn, heal, and reconnect with eternity. Over time, this knowledge faded. Modern thinking split mind from body, soul from nervous system. Insomnia became a disorder, not a message. But ancient wisdom hasn't died. It's just resting, waiting for us to remember. Now that you know this, you can touch that point again. Not as a technique, but as a legacy, like lighting a torch, passed down through time. To unlock the true power of this ancient knowledge, we need to explore the mystery of the vagus nerve, not just biologically, but through its symbolism. This nerve, whose name means wandering in Latin, is the longest cranial nerve in the body. It travels a grand route from brain to abdomen, touching the heart, lungs, diaphragm, and digestive system. It's like a sacred path, an invisible channel linking the body's life centers and, according to the sages, the soul's levels. From a spiritual perspective, the vagus nerve is much more than a signal conductor. It's a spirit antenna, a vibration axis that reflects our inner state with a precision modern science is only beginning to understand. When you're calm, breathing deep, mind clear, and body relaxed, the vagus nerve is active, turning on the parasympathetic system, the rest, digest, heal mode. But when you're scared, anxious, or stressed, this nerve tightens and your body goes into defense, fight, or flight. Do you see the power behind this? Now imagine that every night, by simply touching a specific spot on your body, behind the ear, at the base of the neck, or in the center of the chest, you could send a direct signal to this sacred channel, not just to calm your nervous system, but to tell your soul, you can come home. That's the real purpose of the gesture the sages made before going to sleep. It wasn't just a routine massage, but a reconnection with the divine axis of their own temple. And here's where the magic of conscious repetition comes in. The sages knew the body responds not only to touch, but also to intention. By gently repeating this act each night as a ritual of devotion, you build an energetic bridge. You teach your body to recognize that touch as a key, as a code. Over time, even the slightest pressure on that spot, applied with respect and mindfulness, can trigger a deep response. Immediate relaxation, emotional release, vibrational cleansing. This isn't placebo, it's energy programming. Science today confirms that stimulating the vagus nerve can improve sleep quality, reduce inflammation, balance emotions, and even boost brain plasticity. But the sages didn't need scientific proof, because what they did wasn't just biochemical, it was spiritual. They saw the body as a lyre with the vagus nerve as one of its main strings. When plucked with the right vibration, it produces a note that resonates through the entire system, physical, mental, and energetic. By touching it just before sleep, you tune your soul for the nighttime journey. You tell the universe, I'm ready to enter the sacredness of rest. And it's important to stress, this isn't just any touch, it's a touch full of awareness, slow, gentle, like caressing a forgotten memory or brushing against a secret door, knowing that beyond it waits more than just sleep. Beyond it lies the deep silence where the divine whispers. So next time insomnia visits, don't run from it or distract yourself. Stop, breathe, and touch that point, because what the sages knew, you can remember too. Now that we understand how the vagus nerve acts as a subtle channel between the physical body and higher states of being, it's time to dive even deeper into this simple act. Touching a point before sleep. Though it may seem small, when done with intention and devotion, it becomes an act of spiritual magic. For the ancient sages, sleep was even more important than being awake because it opened doors to visions, revelations, and healing that no daytime activity could bring. Here's a little-known idea: sleep as initiation. In many spiritual traditions, falling asleep wasn't seen as disconnecting, but as journeying into subtle realms. The body rests, yes, but the soul sets off on a voyage. And like any journey, it requires preparation. The act of touching the vagus nerve in places like the outer ear, inner ear, or base of the neck was a symbolic permission for the soul, a vibrational code saying, the body is safe. You may go further. Now think about the emotions that block sleep. Anxiety, guilt, overthinking, frustration. Each has a physical effect. Tight muscles, clenched jaws, racing heart that signals a hyperactive sympathetic nervous system, a mind still fighting. And in that state, how can the soul rise? That's where the ritual of conscious touch holds its full power. It not only activates the vagus nerve and relaxes the nervous system, but also has an alchemical effect on the subconscious. It becomes energetic reprogramming, a tactile symbol training the body to shift from struggle to rest. Over time, this becomes a somatic key. The moment you do it, your body remembers it's time to let go, and it does. But not all spots respond the same. Each area where the vagus nerve runs has its own subtle effect. Behind the ear, at the mastoid bone, it activates deep rest and is touched gently with 2 fingers, like stroking a sleeping child's ear. The hollow above the collarbone influences breathing and connects directly to the lungs, rhythm, and inner voice. The center of the chest over the thymus gland awakens tenderness, compassion, and spiritual protection. It's no accident sages place their hand there when praying or entering silence. Each of these points, when touched with intention, becomes a password between body and soul. Repeating this gesture nightly does more than calm the mind. It teaches it that rest is sacred. Sleep isn't surrender. It's preparation to receive messages from higher realms. And this ritual isn't new. Many indigenous cultures used crystals, oils, herbs, or symbols on these points before sleep, not out of superstition, but because of deep energetic wisdom. The body is an instrument, and the vagus nerve is its deepest string. When touched with reverence, you enter communion. So it's not about chasing insomnia cures, it's about changing how you relate to rest, remembering that each night is a small death and rebirth, and you get to choose how you cross that threshold, with fear or power, tension or sacred contact, because the sages understood this. Sleep doesn't begin at your eyes, but in your soul. Today we sleep because we have to, not because we honor it. The night has lost its mystery, and rest is just a biological need. But in ancient wisdom, sleep was an initiation, a sacred meeting between soul and cosmos. Reclaiming this view doesn't mean giving up modern life, but weaving deep practices into your daily routine. Here are 5 guidelines that won't just improve your rest, They'll transform your whole life. These aren't quick fixes, they're keys to unlock inner dimensions. 1. Create an altar of rest. Whether you have a big bedroom or just a small corner, set aside a space dedicated to the sacredness of sleep. It's not just a bed, it's your vessel to the inner world. You might place a candle, a stone, or an image that represents protection or guidance. What really matters is your intention, sanctifying the space so your body and soul recognize it as the gateway to deep silence. 2. Practice the nightly ritual touch without exception. As we've seen, touching the vagus nerve isn't a massage. It's an act of power. Every night, with full attention, gently use 2 fingers and breathe deeply as you do it. Don't overthink it. Don't expect instant results. Just perform it like an initiate would, knowing each night you're tuning your inner instrument for journeys to subtler realms. 3. Turn off the outside world. Before sleep, the ancient sages said, "A mind that sleeps polluted wakes weak." Avoid news, social media, or violent content in the last hour before bed. The energy from those images sticks with you and travels with you beyond sleep. Instead, choose soft sounds, healing words, or silence itself. Remember, sleep isn't a break from the world, it's an entry into another. 4. Express gratitude before closing your eyes. This simple gesture changes everything. Gratitude rewires the heart, clears the mind, and prepares the soul to receive. No matter how chaotic or tough your day was, find something, anything, to be grateful for. Gratitude is the soul's universal language. When you sleep in gratitude, the universe answers you in dreams. 5. Write down your dreams when you wake up. Night doesn't end with sleep. It ends with waking. Keep a notebook by your bed and jot down whatever you remember, symbols, feelings, images. Over time, you'll notice patterns, messages, and personal keys. Your dreams are your soul's echo speaking in symbols. Listen closely. Turning sleep into a ritual isn't superstition. It's remembering what modern life has forgotten. It's recognizing that each night offers healing, reception, and a chance to remember who you are beyond your name, body, or story. Rest isn't disconnection, it's communion. Every night is a door waiting for you to cross consciously. Now you know what once seemed like just a biological detail. The vagus nerve is actually one of the master keys of the human temple. More than that, the simple act of touching a point on your body before sleep can become a deep act of spiritual reconnection. It's the difference between collapsing into sleep and consciously entering it. For centuries, the sages understood this. The body isn't a prison, but a compass. Every nerve, muscle, and pulse is part of a language revealing what the mind has forgotten. And the vagus nerve, that quiet channel winding between brain, heart, and organs, is a golden path to balance. Sleeping poorly isn't just a physical issue. It's a spiritual signal, an alert that something inside you isn't at peace. And we can't rest when we're disconnected from what matters most. Body, emotion, purpose, soul. That's why this message is urgent. Not so you can sleep more, but so you can sleep better. Not to repeat an empty technique, but to remember an ancient rite. Because if every night you place your hand on that spot, neck, ear, chest, with full awareness, you send a signal to the universe. I'm ready to enter sleep as if entering a temple. Within that simple gesture lies a whole philosophy. The body is sacred. Rest is an art. The soul never sleeps but flies. And you're not a victim of insomnia, but an initiate awakening to your inner power. And if you transform your night, you transform your day. Because those who sleep in harmony wake with purpose. Those who honor their body as a sanctuary live from the divine. Those who learn to touch that point don't sleep to escape, but to return. So tonight, when the world goes quiet and darkness surrounds you, don't turn on a screen. Ignite your awareness. Gently place your fingers on that point that vibrates like a forgotten note. Breathe slowly and step into the silence as if crossing the threshold of an invisible temple. Maybe you'll dream, maybe you won't remember, but your soul will know it's come home. If this wisdom sparked something inside you, subscribe to the channel for more sacred knowledge. Like this video if you now understand the hidden power within your body. Share it with someone who truly needs rest and leave a comment below. I honor rest as a sacred act because it's not just about sleeping anymore, it's about awakening while you rest.